Hi everyone. In the previous video, we talked about Fabric AI, the command line AI tool that gives you superpower. With the powers, you can do various actions such as getting main ideas and information from hour-long podcast, getting important part of the video, summarizing articles, summarizing videos, creating an essay based on your own voice, based on the small input or draft you put out, rating content like that. But this video is gonna be more useful for you because if you are already an Obsidian user, you will learn how you can integrate the Fabric command line tool with Obsidian so that you don't have to use the Fabric tool in the command line and you can just use it by the user interface from Obsidian. We'll talk about everything on how you can integrate this Fabric AI tool with Obsidian. To start using Fabric with Obsidian, first you need to make sure that Fabric is installed correctly in your system. One way of doing so is going to terminal and use the command fabric -- and fabric - yes, and it will open all of the options available for Fabric. If it does not show this, then Fabric is not correctly set on your device. If that's the case, I suggest you to watch the previous video that I made. I'll also link the video down in the description and it will also be up here in the I button. Fabric is correctly installed in my system, right? Now, to integrate Fabric AI with Obsidian, we will need to install the Comty plugin called as Unofficial Fabric Integration. So go to settings, go to Comty plugins and browse over here and search for Fabric, and you will have this Comty plugin, Unofficial Fabric Integration by Chase Bank. You will need to install this Comty plugin first. Click on enable. When you first install the Comty plugin, you don't have the option, so you can just reload your Obsidian app to make it appear. Once you reopen your vault, go to settings again, and over here you will see Unofficial Fabric Integration. Now here are a few settings we need to check in. But before that, I want to suggest you something. The creator of this plugin, Unofficial Fabric Integration, is already working on another plugin maybe which will not require you to install Fabric or Fabric connector in your system. So maybe by the time you are watching this video, if that is already available, which is called Mesh AI, then I suggest you to go through that path. But it is not currently available and it is still in beta. So I'll just show you with this Unofficial Fabric Integration plugin. So go to options, and here you have a few options that you need to configure. First, we need to add the Fabric connector API URL, Fabric connector API key, and then this is extra that I will talk about later. To get this API key and API URL, we'll need to install the Fabric connector tool. For that, let's go again to Comty plugins and over here, Unofficial Fabric Integration. Go to the GitHub repo of this Unofficial Fabric Integration plugin, and over here you will have the link to install the Fabric connector. Go over here, and if you go down, there are two ways to install Fabric connector. For Mac OS and Windows, a executable is provided, but for others, you will need to do it manually. Like here are the step-by-step method. Since most of us are already using Mac OS and Windows, I'll be showing the executable way. You will have the link to executables over here, or you can just go to releases section. And over here, you will have the Fabric connector executable file and DMG file for Mac. So I'll just download this Fabric connector for my Mac OS. Once the app is downloaded, install it. I'll need to move it to applications. Okay. Now you'll need to launch the Fabric connector application. Wait for some time before the application starts for the first time. So you will need to have some patience over here. Okay. Now Fabric is starting over here. Let me go back to Obsidian and go to the options for Unofficial Fabric Integration. Once the Unofficial Fabric Integration is started, you will have the brain icon on the menu bar, right? If you click on it, you will have two options. The first is copy API keys and second is open API docs. Click on open API docs and copy this URL. Don't copy the whole URL, just copy this section after the HTTP and before the docs. Add it to the Fabric API URL over here. And for API key, you can just click on this copy API key, add it here. Now, if you click on test API key, it is still not working. It says error testing Fabric API key. And this is happening because we have the latest version of Fabric, that is Fabric 2.0. But this unofficial Fabric integration tool was by default made for the lower version. So we'll need to enable this compatibility mode. Now, if we click on test API key, it is working. Now, here are a few other options that you might want to configure. First is output folder. Second is custom patterns folder. Output folder is the folder where you want to save the files created by this tool. So I'll just write Fabric tools, a Fabric folder over here. If the Fabric folder is available, then all of the nodes created by this tool will be saved to Fabric folder. And for patterns, I will use the patterns folder. This is important to create custom patterns. If you want to create custom patterns, then you'll need to put those custom patterns inside this patterns folder and then sync those using this plugin. And over default model, I'll use the Llama 3.1. Now I can close this. And if I go over this sidebar, you have this Fabric pane. Let me move it to the center so that you can see in detail. Okay, great. So this is the user interface of this Fabric tool. Let me just do sync. Okay, now it was previously saying it was powered by GPT-4, but I set it to Llama 3.1, so it is now updated. Let me show you an example of using Fabric to process a YouTube video. So I'll go to YouTube and copy a link for a YouTube video. Let's copy a link from one of the videos of Andrew Kirby. We'll just choose a longer video. Okay, let's do it for this video, which is over 1 hour, 30 minutes long. I'll copy the link, go to Obsidian. And let me show you the first use case of this tool. Let me see if I have the output folder and patterns folder configured correctly. Okay. Now first you'll need to write the output file name. So I'll just write YouTube summary. And because we are using the YouTube link, enable the option to detect YouTube link and will not be using the audio files. Now select a pattern from here and it will be extract wisdom. Great. You can also select multiple patterns, which means pattern chaining. If you use pattern chaining, you can use one pattern after another. Like if you choose extract wisdom, it will extract wisdom. And if you choose another pattern, then that pattern will be used over the output of this extract wisdom. But you won't be able to view the output of this pattern extract wisdom. You will only be able to view the output of the final pattern that you used. By default, we have Llama 3.1, but you can also search for other models that Fabric tool can use. If you search for Llama, you can see these are other options available for me. Now, because we have the link in our clipboard over here, we'll just click on clipboard and it will detect this YouTube link. So just click on run. Once the AI has finished processing, it will create a new output, just like the one you saw. And based on the prompt that you are using, it will give you this node. But you can see the AI is getting some of the things wrong. The name is wrong here, Alex Hormozy. This is a really good way to process YouTube videos. You can use multiple, you can chain these prompts together. Let's say if you write extract wisdom, I'll just delete this. Extract wisdom and use the red content or red value. Then you won't be able to see the extract, you won't be able to say the output of extract wisdom, but that output will be used to rate the value of that input. I think you know what I mean to say. So I'll just run it through clipboard again. Great. YouTube Fabric output generated successfully. I don't know what this red value pattern is, but you can see here we chained two patterns together, extract wisdom and red value. But we are not able to view the output of extract wisdom, but only the output of red value. But the creator of this plugin was also talking about storing all of these outputs. So even if you use 3 patterns, it would be possible to add the output of all of those 3 patterns into that node. So that would be really valuable as well. This is the first way you can use to summarize YouTube content. Now, another way that you can use is by giving it the context of your node. Let me give you an example. So I have this node over here called Chasing Perfection Can Backfire. So this is a very rough idea. I have not even formatted it correctly. I'll stack these tabs over here. Now, let me write perfection kills growth as the title of this note. Now I can use the pattern called as improve writing, or I can also use other patterns for write an essay or write a micro essay, and it will write that based on this input. So I already have the Llama 3.1. Now you can just click on current note, and because we selected YouTube links, it says no YouTube links found. But now you can see we have a node called perfection kills growth based on the rough input that I gave to it. I think I talked about this in the previous video as well, but this is a better way to use this tool, right? We have a good user interface that we can interact with instead of the command line tool. This is great. Now you can also use audio files, but I was not able to make it work. And even it was written in the documentation that it is only available for Mac. So I'll not be going into more depth for that. But there is this one option called Tabili. I'll talk about that. Okay, let's go to browser and search for Tabili. Tabili is a search engine built especially for AI agents, that is LLMs. So this tool will connect your language model to the web, and the language model will process the web results and give you the output. To use Tabili, you will need to first sign in for the account and go to API and create an API key. Okay, so I'll go to dashboard because I already have signed in. Okay, I was signed out. So I'll just sign in. Once you go into your account, you have this option right over here to create an API key. Create an API key and copy that. And once you have the API key for Tabili, go to unofficial Fabric integration and just paste the API key over here. Click on test API key, and if it's valid, it will show some response. Okay, Tabili API key is valid. Great. Now to use this Tabili source feature, we'll first need to download a pattern created by the author of this plugin, that is search engine pattern, a pattern to process Tabili source results. I already had it, but I deleted it, so I'll just download it again. Once you download this pattern, it will be stored inside this patterns folder, which you configured previously. And once the pattern is downloaded, you need to refresh these patterns and models. Only then it will be available in this source pattern. So I can search for search engine. Okay, it is still not available. I just forgot something. Once you download this pattern, you will also need to upload. Okay, now you can see pattern search engine is successfully synced. Now you can search for this search engine pattern. Now you can use the Fabric tool to search for anything on the web, and it will process that output as a markdown note. Let's say you want to search for anything. Let's write Elon Musk as the output name. Then you will need to click on Tabili, and here you will need to add your source query, that is Elon Musk. Click on search, and it will create a new node called Elon Musk, whose content will be processed by Llama 3.1, 70 billion per style version. Now we have the search result processed by AI. And this result is based on the prompt, that is search engine prompt, which you can see over here. Now there is one important feature that I want to talk about, that is creating a new pattern. To create a new pattern, there is nothing complicated. You just need to create a new node in this patterns folder, and let's say write an essay in my voice. Now this is a new pattern, but currently it does not have anything in the content. You can write an essay in my voice, simple, clear, and concise, to the point. You can also provide the examples of the essays you write, okay? But I don't want to spend too much time writing the prompt right now, but I guess you got the idea, okay? But if you go to Fabric again, you will see that there is no option with the write an essay in my voice pattern. If you search for write, and it's not available there. So to make it appear over here, you will first need to upload the custom pattern. And now it is uploaded, then you will be able to view it here. Write an essay in my voice. Okay, let us try to improve this prompt. To improve prompt, you can use the pattern that already exists within the Fabric tool that is called improve prompt. I'll just write the name and search for pattern, improve prompt. For the context, I'll use current node, that is this node. Okay, we have a simple prompt over here, but you can make it better by adding more context to the prompt. Once you have this prompt, you can copy it and add it to the file that you created here, or you can directly copy this file and then upload these patterns. So this is the unofficial Fabric integration for Obsidian. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, the creator will already have the Mesh AI plugin, which will not require you to install the Fabric connector and Fabric command line tool. Then you can definitely follow that tutorial. But until then, you will first need to install the Fabric tool, which works on command line. And then you will need to use the Fabric connector, which will connect the Fabric tool with Obsidian. So this is all for this video. I hope you found this video useful. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because I'll be coming with some cool Obsidian related content in the future. Thank you for watching. See you again.